Good afternoon all. In previous lecture we had discussed with double circulation, and you know that how the double circulation occur, and today we will learn the next topic, the difference between artery and vein. First of all, the difference between artery and vein. Artery is thick walled due to presence of muscles. And veins are of thin wall. See, the arterial muscles are involuntary in nature. Contraction and relaxation of the arterial muscles cannot be controlled by voluntarily nervous system. Okay, so that's why here arterial muscles are involuntary in nature. So artery is thick walled due to presence of muscles and vein is thin walled. Arteries are deep inside the body parts and veins are superficially to the body parts. You know that veins are bluish in color. Veins are bluish in color due to that our skin is consists the green colored vein. So blue colored vein and yellow color skin. That's why the veins are greenish in color on the body. Fine. Arteries are deep inside the body parts. Artery does not consist valves. Veins consist valves to prevent the backward flow or backflow of the blood. And the last one, artery carry blood away from the heart. Yes, another point is there next to this. Artery carry the blood away from the heart. Vein carry blood towards the heart. And the last point, all arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. All the artery carry oxygenated blood, but one pulmonary artery which carry deoxygenated blood. You know that in double circulation, right? Next to this point here, all veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Yes, it follow this rule. It carry the blood towards the heart from the lungs, but it carry oxygenated blood. So here this is about the difference between artery and vein. Now, the regulation of cardiac activity. Some points we had discussed with this. You know that the small chart, the heart activity, cardiac activity is totally controlled by nodal tissue. That's why our heart is myogenic. Previously, I told to you that there are two types of heart in animals: myogenic heart and neurogenic heart. Myogenic heart means if you remove the heart from the animal's body for few hours, you are able to beat the heart artificially. That's why one human being's heart is successfully transplanted in other human being also. But majoritarily here the death is due to heart attack. Nowadays, due to stressful life, due to heavy stress, the heart attack is very common. Fine. So our heart is regulated by nodal tissue, and you know that the heart of the heart or natural pacemaker, that is known as sinoatrial node, SM node, then AV node. So this consists the specialized tissue, okay, that control the heart function. Another point, cardiac center is located in medulla oblongata, part of brainstem. So rhythmicity, tonicity. Rhythm means 72 beats per minute. That is rhythm. Tonicity. SA node to AV node to bundle of wreaths, and bundle of wreaths to Purkinje fibers. Now one by one the nerve impulse is transmitted, and alternatively contraction and relaxation of the chambers of the heart, and love and dove sound can be heard easily. These all are controlled by the cardiac center. So cardiac center is located in medulla oblongata. Now the regulation of heart is under ANS. You know that ANS means autonomous nervous system. The heart is regulated by autonomous nervous system, and here ANS, it is divided into two parts. Sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Yes, you know that sympathetic nervous system, it is responsible for tachycardia. Tachycardia is nothing but increase in the heart rate. Fine. And parasympathetic, it is responsible for bradycardia, reduce the heart rate. But below the normal and here above the normal, but sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system both are compatible. Both are compatible. Both works opposite to each other. Okay, and that's why our heart rates 72 times per minute, that is regular beating, that is controlled by both simultaneous function of the sympathetic as well as parasympathetic. Sometimes what happens? See, anxiety, stress, shock, heavy body, obesity, mostly the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated. That's why mostly tachycardia is there. Our heartbeat is beyond the normal level. Okay? But when sympathetic nervous system is stimulated, then parasympathetic nervous system immediately it is stimulated and reduce the aggravated rate of the heartbeat. I mean to say that carry it towards the normal value. And sometimes if parasympathetic nervous system can now reduce below 72 beats per minute, sympathetic is stimulated and aggravate the heartbeats, take it normal by increasing the value. So only sympathetic nervous system increase the heart rate and parasympathetic nervous system reduce the heart rate, but both are compensate to each other. That's why our heart rate is there in the normal state. But the most important one, I think you had learned adrenal hormones in 10th standard, that adrenal gland consists two parts, adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex. 22nd chapter it is given that. But adrenal gland secrete adrenaline and noradrenaline. Both are known as emergency hormones. Both are known as emergency hormones, and these hormones create emergency inside the body. How? By increasing heart rate, by increasing respiratory rate, by increasing the blood pressure. Yes, now you are right that it is known as fight or flight reaction. So due to fight or flight reaction, the adrenal medulla, that is known as emergency gland of the body, it creates emergency situation inside our body. Increase the perspiration, increase confusion, increase perspiration, more heartbeats, more respiratory rate, high blood pressure. These all are the symptoms which are seen in the fight or flight reaction. So adrenal hormones stimulate the heart activity. That means it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. So this is about the regulation of the cardiac activity. Now, disorders of circulatory system. Here, in cardiovascular system, the one very dangerous disease is known as hypertension. But before taking the hypertension, I want to tell you what is normotension. Yes, hypertension means high blood pressure. Blood pressure is measured by sphygmomanometer. You know that there are two types of sphygmomanometer. One is mercury and one is digital. In mercury, the mercury is there, one cylinder is there. The ideal blood pressure is measured by this mercury sphygmomanometer. But with the help of cells, power, with the help of battery, the digital sphygmomanometer is used. Inside that battery is used, fine, but it record altered blood pressure. Exact blood pressure is recorded by mercury sphygmomanometer. Blood pressure is noted by two values. Blood pressure is measured in a such a way. It is noted in the ratio of systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. In mercury sphygmomanometer, arm bandage is there. So tie up the arm bandage here. Fine. One balloon is there. Lock the valve of that balloon in the proper way that air can't come out. Fine. Then lower the pressure with the help of that bulb so that mercury will move upward. Wear the stethoscope and put the diaphragm of the stethoscope in the elbow region. Okay. What is normal blood pressure? How we measure it? It is very simple to measure. So systolic pressure value is but it is given in the sign mmHg, mercury millimeter, the unit. Now normotension. What is normal blood pressure? Fine. See, it is very important. Normal blood pressure value 100 to 140 mmHg, that is systolic pressure, and 70 to 90 mmHg, that is diastolic pressure. Okay, and average we have taken here 100 and 114, the average is 120. And the average of 70 and 90, 80 is there. So this is known as normal blood pressure. Now we have range of the blood pressure from 100 upon 70 to 140 upon 90. Okay, and the measuring of the blood pressure by mercury sphygmomanometer, we obtain always even digits, because in between the two lines 2 mmHg blood pressure difference is there. Okay, so we have the range from 170 to 140, 90. So in between that blood pressure is there, is known as normotension, normal blood pressure. So if the blood pressure is below 170, is known as hypotension. The blood pressure is low, below 170, and the blood pressure is more than 140/90, that situation is known as hypertension. Now The question is moving in your mind. Which are the symptoms of the hypotension? Hypotension in that the person lost his balance, giddiness, chakkar avse, okay, and sometimes lost the consciousness also. And we have to give sodium ions. Yes, in hypertensive condition, the doctor advised to us that don't take table salt. Why? Because this salt is NaCl, sodium chloride. Out of that sodium chloride, sodium is very, very essential to contract the blood vessel. So if you have very more amount of sodium ions inside the body, you have more blood pressure. Fine. So in hypotensive condition, we have to give the table salt to the person. The person is conscious, lost its hypotensive symptoms and become normal one. But due to any reason, there are two reasons of hypertension. So if the systolic blood pressure is more than 140 millimeter mercury and diastolic pressure is more than 90 mmHg, that condition is known as hypertension. So now, which are the causes of hypertension? Obesity, one cause. Causes are known as etiology. One cause is there known as obesity. What do you mean by obesity? Obesity means if the person has 20% more weight than the desired weight. According to the age and height, ideal weight is there. That chart is available, given by WHO. If you have 20% more weight, then you are in obese condition. Obese એટલે જાડાપણું, ટુનટુન, we say like that. But if you have 20% more weight, then you have to aware of it. Sometime in some person, the obesity is not seen there, but internally more amount of lipid is there. Fine. So 20% more weight than the desired weight, that condition is known as obesity. Obesity in that lipid deposition is there below the skin. So due to more lipid layers, this layer push the artery. This layer pressurize the artery. As a result, the artery is pressurized by this lipid layer. The blood pressure is more. The amount of blood flow through that artery is less. Okay, so that obesity is one cause of hypertension. Then next is smoking. In cigarette or bidi, tobacco is there. Tobacco consists nicotine. So this nicotine stimulates the contraction of the artery. So contraction of the artery, that phenomenon is known as vasoconstriction. Increase the blood pressure. So to control the body weight and avoid the smoking, according to this, to maintain the body weight and avoid the smoking, these two are major precautions to be get rid of the hypertension. Remove the stress. So regularly doing the yoga, it remove the stress. So this is about the hypertension. Due to hypertension, sometimes what happens that less amount of blood and high blood pressure. With the high pressure and amount less, the blood is reached to the lungs and brain also. As a result, due to hypertension, the brain and lungs are going to be damaged. Okay, brain and lungs are going to be damaged, and that's why due to hypertension, brain stroke is there, and due to that brain hemorrhage is there. It is very, very common nowadays. Okay, so this is all about the hypertension. Systolic pressure is more than 140 mmHg and diastolic pressure is more than 90 mmHg. Now the second disease is coronary artery disease. Next disease is known as coronary artery disease. You know that the artery which supply the blood to the heart known as coronary artery. Due to high amount of cholesterol level, cholesterol is lipid. If you take much more amount of lipid inside the body, as a result, low density lipoprotein. So my mistake here, sorry, lipoprotein. We have high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein both in our blood. But low density lipoprotein are very dangerous for our body. So if LDL increased beyond its normal limit, then artery become hard. More and more accumulation of the lipid molecules inside the artery. Inner side of the artery is known as lumen of the artery. So in the lumen of the artery, lipid composition occurs. Fine. As a result, narrowing of the artery leads to more pressure, less amount. And I had told you that earlier that coronary artery disease can be cured by diagnosed by coronary artery angiography and treated by angioplasty as well as bypass surgery. So reduce the lumen of the artery by deposition of the LDL, and due to the hardening of the artery is known as atherosclerosis. Angina pectoris. See, it is called as angina pectoris. Symptom is acute chest pain due to no enough oxygen is reached to the heart muscle. So this is known as ischemia. Less amount of oxygen supplied to the muscles of the heart, and due to that heavy chest pain is there. When you tell the person lie down on the floor, okay, then pain is relieved. There is a no pain. But if the person is lying to sitting, pain aggravates. This is the major sign, that is angina pectoris. So in major angina pectoris condition, heaviest chest pain is there, might be leads to death also. Angina can occur only in man and woman at any age, but it is very common in middle-aged and elder patient. It occurs due to conditions that affect the blood flow. So reduce the blood flow, that is known as ischemia. And due to the ischemia, this disease occurred, that's why it is known as ischemic heart disease, IHD. Okay. Then last one is known as heart failure. Heart failure. What is heart failure? The state of the heart when it is not pumping the blood effectively enough to meet the needs of the body. Due to any reason, the heart is unable to pump the sufficient amount of the blood to the different parts of the body. It is known as CHD, congestive heart disease. What is congestion? Congestion means the part of the heart cannot work very well. Because congestion of the lungs is one of the main symptoms in this disease. Here, lungs cannot function. Lungs cannot function at well. Fine. So, proper amount of the blood cannot be supplied to the lungs. So lungs function is also affected. Heart failure is not the same as cardiac arrest. What is cardiac arrest? Heart stop beating. And what is heart failure? Heart is unable to pump the sufficient amount of blood. Please understand it properly. Heart is unable to pump the sufficient amount of the blood is known as heart failure. And cardiac arrest means heart stop beating. Both are different. Fine. And heart attack means muscles cannot be supplied by proper blood. So heart attack, heart arrest, cardiac arrest and cardiac failure, these three are totally different things. So this is of this whole chapter. Fine. Thank you very much to all. See you in next lecture.